multi-exclusive dimensional being card with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about Mars retrograde, September 9th, tomorrow. So pretty much the moon is in Gemini right now. So basically, that's already dealing with thinking and communication, interactions, surroundings, and locations. That's also dealing with mutable air, the way that we adapt to changes, circumstances, situations, the way we interact with people, places, and things. But of course, what's going to debunk that is basically this Mars retrograde for all zodiac signs. Feel me? So it's going to be like a little pinpoint. It's going to be like a bounce. And these energies is going to be heavy influences, because look at it like this. There's going to be a time where spirits that was once in bodies like you, like ghosts, ancestors, or whoever you worshiping, as far as like where your belief is at, these motherfuckers are going to take the chance, opportunities to basically come back down here, use you as a vessel, and try to basically bring force as far as violence, or basically asserting their power and their self-expression towards something good and positive. So if you're not aware of this shit, you're going to basically be getting attacked by all kind of shit. Feel me? You're going to be getting hit with all kind of heavy influences. It depend upon how much good of fruits and plants and seeds that you're basically planting during these new phase. That's going to dictate and determine whether or not how things and outcomes is going to play out to you. So of course, this is dealing with all signs. So these are what you're going to be expecting. Of course, what is Mars? Basically, Mars is basically a planet of fire. And of course, fire is like the spirit, the gas, feel me? It's like your circumference, your space. Basically, it's like the spark. And we all need fire, feel me? That's an element. And of course, it also governs the signs of Sagittarius, Leo, and of course, Aries. of course, it's also going to be playing out in Aries. So of course, all your Aries and the Scorpios out there, y'all motherfuckers better know that it's time to take heed, especially if you wasn't planting good seeds, because for me, opposites attract, for me, and the planets is somewhat kind of like moving backwards. So things, as far as like how you was basically driving towards things gonna slow down a little bit, for me. So this is a time for you to reflect and backtrack on projects and things that you was working upon, as far as whether they're working out for you, or basically this is like a new chance. It's like a new chance, a new time for this is like basically like, it was Aries season, of course. It was here already, and then of course it left. I mean, and we was in Taurus season, Gemini season. For me, when the planets go backwards, this is the time to basically get your second trip, basically. And if you're planting good seeds and basically you're out here initiating, creating circumstance situations to basically spark that, then of course you're going to get a give and take. You're going to get another chance. So you either going to take this chance and opportunity to basically backtrack on things which you really want to bring into existence, or you're going to be basically just planting seeds all over the place. You got to understand balance is key right now. Feel me? Don't just be too impulsive right now. Don't just basically jump the gun. Learn how to basically, stagnate yourself a little bit, just a little bit. I know fire don't like being fire don't fuck with people. Fire is like separate. That's its own element. Feel me? Fire want to basically continue to burn the shit down, but basically right now when it's back retrograde, for me, you can't get away from that retrograde. For me, what goes around comes around. So basically, these circumstances that's gonna be playing out. But I'm about to run through these signs real fast, so basically you would know what you're gonna be expecting, or what you're basically gonna be running upon. So of course, Aries suns, moons, and ascendants. So basically, you're gonna be dealing with self-expressions, the way you present yourself, your appearance, the way you come towards people, places, things, introspection and stuff like that. You're gonna basically be dealing with straightforwardness, sensitive attention, confidence, and of course, aggression also takes shape and form. But of course, you may be in an area of basically lack of confidence during this time, depending on how you're feeling and what kind of experiences. Basically, you've not known what's going on. You may basically second guess yourself. So basically, reassert yourself in a way of basically being organized, and learn how to like basically write things down as far as what you need to do. And of course, if your moon is fire right now, what you need to basically be doing, be by water and basically get in the tub, feel me? Meditate and get ready for tomorrow, because the energies and the influences are going to be very, very motherfucking heavy. And you want to be basically picking that up. So watch out for depression, anxiety, and overwhelming and shit, feel me? Things can get a little crazy. And be careful. You might be prone to accidents and shit like that, especially if you're on a road, or if you might get into arguments with certain people, places, things. You might take a motherfucker out. Be careful tomorrow, though. Also, when we talking about Taurus, it's basically you need to be focusing on like, watch out for fraudness that's going on. Also watch out for people, places, and things, falsely people, shady people gonna be coming up talking about you and shit like that. watch out for these people, places, and things, because they basically gonna be all up in the cookie. And basically, you may be coming up with frustrations and shit like that as far as what happened in the past, feel me? And people, places, and things that you strive and desire for, you may throw them off as far as like things that you're striving for, things that you lust for, or obsessions and shit like that. You may feel the need to basically turn that off right now because you think it's not basically in your best interest. So you basically need to watch out for that too. And of course, your wants and needs may not be fulfilled during this time, and also your spirituality. You might give up. You might give up hope right now. You may not basically go straight forward as far as what you want to basically initiate and create and bring down to existence. So basically, watch out for that shit too. And of course, it's very important to basically stay focused and stay on task. You want to basically get thrown off by nobody, feel me? You may be too logical during this time right now, so basically be aware of that shit, feel me? You may be too offish and shit. You may give up on things and shit like that. And also, you know, privacy is important, so don't be too quick to jump the gun, for me. Learn how to sit back and value these things. Because things, you know, Taurus don't really fuck with Mars don't really fuck with Taurus like that, feel me? Because it's Taurus a little stagnated, and you know Mars gonna keep moving. So watch out for that. Gemini, you're gonna be Gemini sun. Well, if you got a Taurus moon, if your element is basically Earth, you need to basically be around like money, write down some rituals and spells and shit, throw out some good vibrations, put out some good crystals and shit that you can program and utilize for your best interest right now. Also, you know, ground yourself right now. Be very grounded. Geminis, watch out for friend groups, surroundings, and locations. Activities may take the back burner right now. Feel me? You may not go as far as what you want to fulfill. Your passions, your goals, your desires may not really be up to date as far as that. You might come across angry friends or angry people, places, and things around those locations, people you socialize with. You might go in the media, you might be talking about all kind of shit, anxiety, depression, all kind of shit may be taking a shape and form right now. So make sure you meditate. If your moon sign is the air element, what you need to be focused on is your breath. Focus on the breath. I mean, when you meditate, for me, learn how to basically clear out all that shit. Watch out for confusion and all that shit can go and basically take a shape and form. So you need to basically be aware of that. And of course, your goals is important. So you need to be focusing on you right now. You come first before anything or anybody else too. Also, we got Cancer. This is basically working on professional life matters and shit like that. Public life, public relations, people you relate to or work in that part of nature. And of course, you know, Cancer don't fuck with Mars. Mars don't fuck with Cancer because it's too stagnated. It's too fixated. And it's too cardinal and private matters in their own way. You want to be too home and shit, but they don't want to basically utilize the spark. So right now you need to focus on your enthusiasm, your ego, your energy, and basically you need to put this towards somewhere. You need that spark right now. Basically right now you really need that spark, because for 9 weeks you may feel the need. You might just outburst. You might just quit your job and leave. You might quit a project. For me, you might try to go back to the old things, or you might try to go back to your boo thing or type shit, or a circumstance situation might basically pop up into that aspect. So you need to basically be focusing on. And if your element is water, you need to be by the fire. Get some candles for me. Put that fire there. Clear your mind and let all that negative energy be burnt out, because you know during this 9-week phase, what you need to be focusing on right now is basically getting yourself intact. And of course, Leo. And you know Mars like being in Leo, like it likes to be in the fire, like the fire. So Leos, you're gonna be reacting, responding to like your spirituality, wisdom, philosophical points of views, travel, intuition. During this time, you may be less confident due to setbacks and circumstances, situations that took place in your life and shit right now, feel me? Or you may not have the drive or passion to go towards something that you wanted, what you was basically going towards right now. Things may be a little haywire. Things might slow down. The process might be very confusing right now. So basically get back on track and stay focused and be strong, because we need y'all right now. It's that fire, you feel me? When the fire is working together, we can basically burn shit down and get through this motherfucking back right now. So if your element is fire, you need to be by the water. Virgo, relationship issues, sharing possessions, also money matters may play a circumstance situation. You may be less confident. Somebody that hurt you in the past, you may think about them, or they may pop back in your life. I mean, you may get an ex that may come back in your life. Also, you may be in debt during this time, so basically be very careful how you spend your money and shit. Watch out for, like, you know, you may have issues with your relationship during this time. Circumstances, situations like that. You may get lost into addictions and certain things that you was basically once appreciating. Things may be a little off. You may be too naggy during this time. So basically, react and respond positive way. Learn how to analyze the details and get right back on track. And of course, ground yourself. And make sure you watch out for anxiety too, because things might hit hard. Also, Libras, you're going to be dealing with like negotiations, partners, relationships, disloyalty. Try to watch out for ego. Try not to be too hard on somebody, because they may basically ghost you, and it's going to be hard for them to get in touch with you, or you may basically find yourself going different ways. Disloyalty may play an aspect into this too. Be careful and very aware of that shit. Try to have a new approach to love, the way you talk to people, places, things, and relate to them. Have balance and let the ego go right now. Scorpios, y'all gonna be basically dealing with daily working routine, like the Virgo element. So basically, y'all all got to compatible here, but you got to basically be organized with yourself, or you're gonna be all over the place. You may be very tired during this time. You may basically be overwhelmed. Your desire may be off and shit. Learn how to chase your desires and your wants and needs on basically what you want to basically put yourself. Utilize your imagination and a little bit of spirituality, and dig deep during this time. It's dealing with Scorpio risings, ascendants, and moons. Of course, Sagittarius, you're going to be reacting and responding to like relationship issues, romances, hobbies, kind of like the Leo element, basically children too. Feel me? You may bump ties with your children, or you may have an abortion during the time, or you may have issues with your child. Things may be a little chaotic, for me. Anxiety may play a part, for me. You may feel the need to want to like detach from circumstances, situations, or you may get into like a uphill battle or argument or some shit like that. Also, problems like with your dreams, things you desire, strive for, may be too out of reach for me. You may be going back to the past, and confusion can play a part. So be very aware and try to avoid that shit too. Also, when we're talking about Capricorns, you may feel the need to basically reorganize your house, rearrange things. You might get into complications and arguments with your family members and shit like that. Try to like basically be balanced right here. Family issues, anger might come up. Feel me? Past emotions might come up and shit. So be very aware and very careful. You may just play the house during this time and shit. So basically, try to like change for the better. For me, don't change for the worse. And basically be very grounded during this time. And of course, things gonna be slowed down. You love when things slow down, because you give yourself more time to basically be stable. Of course, Mars is exalted in that stage, or actually Saturn's exalted there. So yeah, you got a whole lot of time. For me, take the time and use it. Aquarius, y'all may be having issues with like delays, circumstance situations, communication may be off and shit, siblings. Also, group transportation, feel me? You may be having a whole lot of delays. You may be ghosting around. You may break down. Your car might break down. Circumstances, situations may play out to that spectrum. People might flop on you. You may be very strict during this time. Feel me? You may be, procrastinate. You may quit projects, and you may be stagnated. So, feel me? Try to get back on track. Try to rethink and reorganize, and basically plan what you want to do. And feel me? Take it easy, feel me? Because you got all the time in the world right now, feel me? Learn how to like utilize that spark and put it towards somewhere where you want to basically be. Feel me? Don't give up. Feel me? Because the thing is, procrastination is the best thing of society wants you to do. So try to have more structure in your life. Feel me? And basically be more practical. Feel me? Try to meditate. Feel me? Clear your mind, clear your space too. Feel me? Of course, you always gonna go through some changes and shit, dealing with people, places, things around you, and your surroundings and locations. So watch out for this shit too. So be very aware of that shit too, because you don't want to be basically playing on that edge. Of course, when we dealing with Pisces, personal finances, dealing with money, possessions, income, values, comfort, home security, values and shit. Of course, you may be on vacation during this time. You may come back to work and shit, because you may have ran into a circumstance situation where you had to come out of pocket. Shit got a little crazy. Try to like organize your money. Try to be very cautious on what you're spending, or what kind of seeds you're planting during this time. Things can get a little foggy right now during this time, feel me? Try not to put yourself in a circumstance situation of basically, being too open and stuff like that, feel me? Just learn how to have balance, organize your money, organize your pockets, your values and shit, feel me? Don't get too lost into your values, feel me? Don't get too lost into mundane, feel me? Stay in your imagination, feel me? Dream big. And of course, being harmonious nature, feel me? You don't want to put yourself in a circumstance situation of fucking things up during this time, feel me? So you want to make sure money matters and possessions is basically organized and evaluate during this time. So for me, and anxiety and concerns and worry about being broke or home insecurity or living issues may basically play a part during this time. So you may feel the need to basically, everything was going great, but when this motherfucker retrograde come, boom, you was planting bad seeds and shit, and these things reoccur. You could be being possessed right now. Remember, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions out there ain't yours, so you need to basically take time and look yourself in the motherfucking mirror, and everything gonna be great.